What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Happy end of March. It is March 31st. Hopefully, a lot of you got at that workout yesterday. I saw a lot of comments and scores talking about the difficulty or how challenging that was. Not that it was difficult, but challenging. Although maybe it was difficult. The dumbbell snatches, some of you were alternating. But we've got some more challenging movements today. It's going to be all body weight stuff, gymnastic skills coming into play today. But before we get to that, let's talk about through our warm-up. So we'll start with some paleo chair. We're doing a lot of air squats. So the paleo chair, bring yourself down to the bottom of the squat, hips back, knees out, chest up. We're always emphasizing this posture, and I'm using my elbows to kind of push on the inside of my knees, quads, legs, so that I try to open up this space as much as I can, and I'm moving around a little bit. I can come up and then kind of come back down. Try to stay here for about a minute. At least, or if you can get approaching a minute, that's pretty good, right? So do that a few times. After that, some duck walks. So that's from the bottom of the squat. If you can't get all the way hips below knees, maybe you're a little more like this. This is okay too, but notice the posture, the position, right? It's all about this posture, right? And then I'm just trying to move around, staying low to the ground, trying to maintain that squat position as best as I can. After that, some ankle rotation, some ankle stretches. You can just kind of post up against the wall or maybe a chair or something nearby. Just kind of roll your ankles out. Do some up and down movement through the heel. Maybe kick it back a little bit and just move through wherever feels tight. Just make sure that your ankles are feeling nice and warm. After that, because we're going to try to do some pistols today or some scaled version of a pistol, we want to work on that front scale. So the front scale hold. Right? It's like a pistol that you hold in place. So my arms come out to the side. I'm going to pick one leg up. I'm kind of pushing my toe forward. It's going to help me squeeze my quad. I really want to emphasize making this area of my body really tight and then tension here too. So I'm squeezing both parts of my body, quad and belly in, arms out nice and straight. Push the toe away. I'm going to try again to hold that for around a minute, just like with the paleo chair. Right? Try to keep that leg up nice and high. After that, we're doing some plank shoulder taps because we're also going to try to do some handstand push-ups today potentially. So come to your plank position, and I'm just going to try to alternate slowly, just alternate tapping without too much swaying. So if you're swaying from side to side, see if you can limit that a little bit and just try to maintain that tight plank position. Feet together on the planks is always preferable for these types of movements especially. After that, some wrist pulses. Get your wrist warm up because we are going to be upside down. So wrist pulses, these gymnastic wrist pulses, we've used these in class a lot. This is kind of side to side, forward and back pulsing motion, right? Try to flatten out the fingers to the ground, keep the palms down, stay connected. And just pulse as many times as you need to. I usually do about 20 pulses per direction, but do as many as you need. And then lastly, we're going to finish by building to some sort of inversion. So depending on maybe what inversion you're doing today, if you're up against the wall, we can build up to either that face out or maybe that face forward inversion, depending on where you are. Maybe if you're thinking about working off a box, right, we can build up to either toes or knees on a box chair, or you might even just work that ground pike, trying to get yourself into sort of a faux inversion on my toes, feet together, and head pointed down to the ground, right? So building up all those things. A lot of stuff to do, right? And if there's anything else you need, get after that too. The workout, though, 2 rounds of 4 movements, right? And each one kind of builds off of each other. So we have air squats, push-ups, pistols, and handstand push-ups, right? So your air squats and pistols, one is a harder variation of that, and the handstand push-up being the harder variation of the push-up. So 2 minutes per movement. Do as many reps as you possibly can, right? Hitting my air squats. Just going to be nice and consistent. Doing my push-ups. Same thing. I'm just trying to keep my position, my tension, my body shape as symmetrical as possible, rep to rep. Then pistols and handstand push-ups as well. We'll talk about modifications and scales in a second. So you're going to rest 1 minute in between each movement. So essentially each movement is 3 minutes, right? 2 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest, 2 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest, etc. So we'll do that 2 times through. So the whole thing is about 24 minutes long, right? It's a 20-minute workout. Your score will be the total reps for each individual movement added together. So you'll have two scores of air squats, add those together, 2 scores of push-ups, add those together, 2 scores of pistols, 2 scores of handstand push-ups. So you'll have 4 scores, right? The added squats, the added push-ups, the added pistols, the added handstand push-ups. 4 different numbers, all right? So lots of potential modifications depending on what you have at home and where your skill level is with all these things. If you don't quite have that full, let's try that again, that full pistol movement down and up, then lots of ways to modify. Maybe you have a plate at home or something small that you can elevate your heel on slightly, right? And then we try to take it to that front scale position, and then I try to control my squat to there. Good way to modify. It might be to a target. Maybe you have a small box, chair, stack of books, something you can try getting yourself to that target. Think about that soft contact, right? Don't slam yourself down or lose your tension. If you have something you might be able to stand on, right, then we can try this type of movement here, standing on a target. Make sure whatever you're standing on is secure, though. If it's like a wobbly chair, don't do that. It could even just be heel taps. So maybe I'm just standing on the ground. I try to get to that front scale. Maybe I just try to tap my heel to the ground, but I'm maintaining that strong leg position like that front scale movement. Don't let it get loose. Or maybe even just feet together squats, right? This is a good modification, right? And it helps build that hip strength, knee strength, ankle strength, and mobility. So that's all the scales or changes for pistols. If none of these work for you, maybe just do air squats again, or make it jumping squats to make it a little bit harder. As far as handstand push-ups, kind of same idea, right? Depending on where you are, you might work off a box like we saw earlier, off the toes, off the knees, but the target is always head between the hands and top of the head to the ground, right? If it feels like your face is going towards the ground, then you're just doing a push-up. We want top of the head moving. We could do wall walks. Wall walks are a little slower, sometimes harder, but if you decided to wall walks, then we want to make sure we're getting into that good, tight, inverted position and that we're not looking like a starfish. Or it could even just be just holding. Maybe you just kick yourself upside down, get yourself on the box, and just hold that inversion for as long as you possibly can. And I think that's fine. You might not technically have a rep score for those, but if you're practicing being inverted, then you've won the day, right? And that's the whole purpose. Just try and get a little bit better. So that's it. If you have any other issues with these movements, obviously post it in the comments below. I will help you guys find the right modification scales for the day. And yeah, let's get after it. Good gymnastics day. See you guys tomorrow.